Now I know that's for my beautiful wife, so thank you very much. Thank you, Denny, for those warm words and the encouragement to back check later on tonight, so thank you. I want to share with you my passion to become your next mayor. And I want to speak to you about our future and what I would like us to do to make this city a great city. A city that's safe, vibrant, and is affordable and sustainable for all. As your mayor, I will work with local agencies and businesses to promote our economic and tourism opportunities. When people around the world speak of Calgary, they will say three things. We are the energy capital of North America. We are the home of the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. And we are the home of the National Training Centre for Canada's Olympic athletes. Calgary will be known as the city that drives the Canadian economy. We are an exciting place to live, and we seek excellence in everything we do. We will be known as a city that has a high quality of living that will attract tourism, investment opportunities, and economic prosperity. It's a city of action. Now, speaking of action, I believe transportation concerns will be the key priority for Calgary in this municipal election. Calgarians have told me loud and clear that they want a city council and a city hall to continue to improve infrastructure and to do things right the first time. We will prioritize and we'll manage projects in construction in order to minimize the impact on today's roads. With this in mind, we need to focus on three key transportation projects for this new council. I believe that the construction of the airport tunnel is an absolute necessity, and let me explain. Currently, the airport runways are positioned between Deerfoot and Barlow Trail, and this allows us a north-south access to the airport via Deerfoot and Barlow. The Calgary Airport Authority, a quasi-government body from the city and from the quasi-government body, which is able to implement decisions independently from the City of Calgary. And they have decided the Calgary International Airport requires a new runway, and they plan to build a new runway east of Barlow Trail. The result is that Barlow Trail will be permanently closed effectively April 2011, without any plan to maintain the present amount of access to the airport or to increase it. This is wrong to me. In fact, you ask people who live in that area, they'll tell you we actually need more east-west corridors in the northeast quadrant to move goods and people, not less. If there's a business case for expanding our runways, surely an increase in transportation capacity should follow. And here's the problem. The City of Calgary has not worked well with the Airport Authority on this. Meaningful communication and consensus building has not occurred. Indeed, the Airport Authority is so fed up that they actually are saying to us it's too late. We won't build the tunnel. They say that existing council had its chance, chose its own priorities, and for those reasons they want to plow ahead with their own runway. Now the fact is, it's not too late. No ground has been turned for the new runway, and there's a good solution to the problem. It's a solution that people in Northeast Calgary have been discussing and proposing for the last 2 years. And it's a solution that's good for all Calgarians. The tunnel will allow the airport trail to continue east under the new runway and ultimately connect Deerfoot with the Northeast Ring Road. If the tunnel is not done before construction of the runway, future costs will grow by estimates of 4 times. And we cannot tolerate the continual waste of hundreds of millions of dollars of your hard-earned dollars because we won't do things right the first time. But we're not going to stop building a tunnel for just the movement of vehicles and goods. To be a world-class city, we need an LRT to the airport, and we will extend the line as a top priority for my infrastructure for LRTs to the airport by 2015. Now, why would we choose the LRT to the airport? Well, consider this. First of all, the airport is our third largest employment sector after the foothills and the downtown. It's a tremendous opportunity to get people who live, work, and play in the same area to use public transit. The airport is the third largest international airport in Canada, welcoming over 14 million visitors each year. So it's crucial that the airport remains a readily accessible gateway to further travel for Calgarians, tourism, and economic development for not only Calgary, but Alberta as a whole. Now, Ottawa has supported some major public transportation projects in Toronto and Montreal, and of course recently in Vancouver. Ottawa has to understand that it's time to invest in the city that actually drives Canada's economy. Thank you. All I'm asking for is Ottawa to recognize this and work with Calgary to make it not only good for Calgary, but make it good for Canada. And finally, and I think you saw in the paper today, we need a solution for the Southwest Ring Road. The people who live in the deep Southwest have had enough. And as the former member of council who warned the province and city council about approving a casino before actually reaching a deal for the Ring Road, Satina, and as a person who was part of that and actually lives in the area, I'm as frustrated as the people who live in it. And we need a better north-south corridor in this quadrant. And I will begin to have open houses this summer to meet Calgarians and ask them about their thoughts. And I think one thing we can clearly understand is that we will not be ripping up 700 homes for this tunnel. We have other options, we have other ideas, and I'm going to ask Calgarians for their thoughts. We will continue to improve transportation networks in our city, but you know, it's not all about transportation. We need to create a safe and vibrant downtown, and we will work with all stakeholders to improve a better experience. I have a couple of suggestions I'd like to throw at you to see what you think. First of all, let's create a test pilot for Friday and Saturday nights to have the LRT run 24 hours with a visible enforcement presence. This will encourage Calgarians to enjoy downtown and leave their cars at home. Now, someone who recently has been out now meeting people a little later than I should, I want to establish taxi stands in specific areas of downtown so I actually know where to go so I can get home. I don't know where to go. So here's an example. What if we just took Stephen Avenue after 10 o'clock and turned it into one large taxi stand? This will add greater convenience and access for people who choose not to drive. Lastly, I think it's important for the downtown, if we're going to really truly create a great city, as I see the East Village and the future Stampede redevelopment as a blank canvas that could be at the core of future festivals and entertainment district. Imagine a district with art galleries, little blues and jazz clubs, improvs, and bistros to enjoy an evening of fun. What a great way to create that eclectic environment for our artists to highlight for all those great people that live here and want to stay here versus moving out of Calgary. But you can't be a vibrant city if you're not a safe city. As a former police commissioner, I made public safety my #1 priority. We introduced beat cops to downtown. We brought in the bad behavior bylaw to help police officers get the resources they need to do their job. And we did safety audits on the LRT and the Plus 15 networks to establish a visible presence to deter crime. And as your mayor, I will continue to make public safety a key priority at City Hall.